This is Josh. So Jacob wants to see the FNAF movie, but he can't. You see, if he sees the movie without playing all the games first, his head will explode, and that would be sad. Now we gotta walk him through everything so he doesn't die. Hopefully.
You might only have a few seconds to react.
Alright, we all know FNAF 1. Bonnie comes from the left, Chica comes from the right, and you use the cams for Foxy and Freddy. But you know who doesn't know FNAF 1? This guy.
Oh god. What's he doing? Do I just die? Oh!
Now I thought it would be fun to leave Justin in the dark for a little bit.
Oh my!
And it was. But if things stay like this, we're gonna be here for a while. So we let him know that Bonnie and Chica only show up at their doors, and for now, he only needs to use the cameras to check Foxy. And that seemed to be the trick, because now we're on to night 4. Things can get a little tough here when Freddy starts to move around. What we need to do is keep the active camera on Freddy at all times to stop him from moving. But that can be a bit of a problem when we had to switch between Freddy and Foxy. Surprisingly though, Mark didn't have much problem with it. So we get through nights 4 and 5 pretty easy.
I don't know what I did there, but it worked.
Unfortunately, night 6 isn't the same story. I don't know what happened, but Matt is having a pretty bad time. Like, the AI level didn't even jump up that high. Except for Foxy's. We make it through, but only after a rough 15 deaths. We did get a rare screen, though. And with that, we have one last challenge for good old FNAF 1. The iconic 420 mode. Although, to be honest, I would be prepared to wait a while. With Aaron's performance on night 6, I wouldn't expect to win anytime. Let's go! What the fuck? Okay, you guys gotta understand. This guy has never touched a FNAF game in his life before 2 days ago, and he just crushed 420 in 12 attempts. This took our Lord and Savior Markiplier at least 50. Over 7 hours! Like, holy shit, this man's gotta be some kind of prodigy! Oh. Never mind.
It doesn't seem to affect all of the animatronics, but it does affect one of them.
Aside from that, FNAF 2 is pretty smooth. Wind the box, pull down the mask, check vents, flash pyro.
So guys, we did it.
Repeat. Overall, pretty simple. Only 4 deaths. Until night 5. I'm gonna be real with you. Night 5 fucking sucks.
No.
And it only gets worse from here. Everybody's here, and they stay here the entire night. We can brute force it eventually, but it takes a while.
Yeah, I'm not gonna question it.
Night 6 isn't any better with Golden Freddy showing up, as well as a sign of things to come. We did get some mini-games though. Ooh, and some more death screens. But sooner or later, we unlock the custom game. And we all know what that means. 1020 mode is arguably the hardest challenge before UCN. And for a good reason. This shit is brutal. There's zero room for error. Even if you're 100% perfect, this bitch-ass blue cunt can completely fuck up your run. Our boy Cody can barely make it to 1 AM.
Bro.
And I don't do much better.
Oh shit. Fucking whore. Fucking whore. Damn it.
We might need a new plan. After a bit of digging, we find our answer. Right vent camp, baby! The main targets of this strat are these cucks, the vent animatronics. Long story short, you lift the camera up while they're here, you die. Normally, we check each vent and use the mask if anyone's there. The problem with that is it takes a good 2 to 3 seconds to check each vent, and then if somebody is there, that adds on another 5. Now I know 8 seconds doesn't sound like a long time, but on night 7, the music box winds down at about 15. And with everybody else trying to eat our ass, we can only really keep it wound up about 3/4. So 11 seconds, meaning 3 seconds of error before the puppet jumps down our throat. So the way it works is whenever we pull down the monitor to a big boy in the office, 99% of the time in 1020 mode, we just keep the mask on for about a second longer than normal, and that should clear anyone in the vents. There is one exception though. Toy Bonnie is the biggest pain in the ass here. Unlike the other vent animatronics, he wants to act retarded special. Not only does he just kind of decide when he wants to leave the vent, which is usually 3 to 5 seconds, but then he goes into a blackout attack like the office animatronics, which adds another 4.5. To be honest, it's not like Toy Bonnie is a guaranteed death. But he might as well be. If you get unlucky, Foxy and the puppet are already on their way by the time this bitch realizes, oh, I've been here for 2 years. Maybe I should finally move out and get a fucking job. Rant aside, right vent camp is crazy helpful. We go from the average run being about 30 seconds to normally hitting 4 or 5 a.m. We just need one last push. And when the world needed him most, he appeared. The FNAF 2 guy! Now, Shooter did something the FNAF community somehow didn't think about doing for years. By using a timer, we can keep track of movement opportunities. The big ones we're looking for are every 5 and 10 seconds. Every 10 seconds, if the monitor's up, there's basically a 100% chance that it's forced down. And every 5 seconds is when Foxy kills you if you haven't flashed him in the last 3 frames. The reason this matters is if we're currently being attacked in the office, it negates Foxy's attack, meaning from the top of every 10 seconds, we can flash Foxy, then wind the box until about 26 to 27 seconds. Then, 99% of the time, there's an office animatronic, and because their attacks last a little over 4 seconds, Foxy can't attack us at the next 10-second interval. Then we repeat. Now this strat neuters Foxy, and combining it with right vent camp makes everything way easier. Toy Bonnie can still fuck us up, and it's a struggle to get back on track after he shows up. But everything together brings the difficulty down from a 10 out of 10 to about a 9.999 out of 10, which is just enough to pull it off.
It's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be fine. It takes more than 5 seconds to get there. Just cross our fucking fingers.
Thankfully, that was the hardest game out of the first 4, so it should be smooth sailing for a bit. Wait a sec. 1, then 2, then... Oh no.
We found one. A real one.
Okay, turns out FNAF 3 is not only harder than FNAF 2, but it's the hardest game in the franchise. And not because of any crazy 2020 mode bullshit. This game forces you to go head to head with the worst challenge anyone could face. Boredom. Yeah, this game sucks. Easily the worst one in the series. All you do is watch a piss-stained rabbit on the cameras and use the audio lure if he leaves. You don't need to worry about the vents or the phantoms either. Just keep him in the top right cam, close that vent, and you're set. The only thing you do outside of this is reset audio and maybe ventilation if you mess up on Foxy. And that's only nights 2 through 5. You know what you do on the first one? Nothing! There's nothing to kill you! You just sit there for 6 minutes! It's not hard, and it's not scary! FNAF 3 is fucking boring! Sure, we die a couple times. But it's not because Springtrap is actually a threat, it's because James fell asleep while playing. Alright, let's be fair. Scott wanted to focus more on the story for this game. Not a great excuse, but we'll take it. And doing the minigames for the good ending is actually a little fun. Plus, it introduces the best song in the series. And it's always ridiculously great to watch the purple man get crushed by some dead kids. Still a bad game though. We still had to finish one more night though. Aggressive Nightmare Mode, aka Brave Value Night 7. This one is pretty rough too. Again, it's not hard, Robert just can't keep his eyes open. Luckily for us, this game isn't just boring, it's also broken.
You could always try the thing since you're here.
That's right, the thing, the 0 frame flip. All we do is click the monitor button, but click it again before the screen loads. Do this about every 8 seconds and it tricks the game into not killing you, and it never triggers a vent error, making this game even more trivial than it already was.
Whoa!
What the fuck?!
Yo! That actually
How
worked!
the fuck does that work?!
Yo! Finally, I can put this game away.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
FNAF 4 is the complete opposite of 3. Fun. This game is absolutely horrifying, and I love it. Even just watching, I still braced myself every time Thomas moved from one door to another.
Go home.
Unfortunately, like the others, this game is pretty simple. The only thing that really changes is how fast you gotta do everything. Basic strat is go to the left door. If you hear breathing, close it. If not, flash the flashlight. Then you clear the bed, go to the right door, back to the bed, repeat. On later nights, Pyro might get into our closet.
I'm a sexual predator.
If that happens, not a big deal. Just change the strat to left door, bed, right door, closet, repeat. When we're at the closet, just hold it closed for about 7 seconds. Of course, we do die a bit.
Oh god.
But after getting the hang of things, it's pretty smooth. Again, until night 5. Night 5 rocks in this game. Everything we learned the last few nights, out the window. We get what's essentially a FNAF boss fight with Nightmare Fredbear. Now, despite him being a bit of a shock the first time we see him,
Door!
Oh! What? Is
dead.
it too late? No,
You can
yeah.
try flashing, but door!
Oh!
he's actually pretty easy to deal with. All we gotta do is run from door to door and use the flashlight. If we see him, close the door, otherwise get to the other side. We gotta move fast, but it's pretty simple. Until he pulls out his portal gun. Every now and then we'll hear Freddy Fuckboy let out a laugh. When this happens, take a second to listen for footsteps. If we hear some, we continue as normal. Otherwise, we gotta start sprinting to check the bed in the closet because we only have about 8 seconds before.
Oh my!
On the bright side, it looks like he can only do this 2 times per night. He's still gonna laugh the whole time, but after clearing the bed and or closet for the second time, they should all be distractions. Moving on, we force some random guy to play.
Jesus fucking Christ, bro! I'm done. Done.
Watch a kid get eaten.
Who's got the body
87! And then we're on to night 6. To be honest though, night 6 and onward are pretty easy.
Oh!
It's harder than 1 and 3's final modes, but it's pretty much the same thing we've been doing this whole time. The time to react to everything is a lot tighter here, but we just stick to the same old strat and we eventually get through. It took a lot longer to beat than all the other games, but that's because there's just so much more to do. It's worth bringing up the challenge modifiers, since they're needed for all the stars, but even with the hardest ones, blind mode isn't too bad after a couple attempts, and all nightmare is just night 5, but your boy is way faster. Get it, guys? Because he's black. No.
There was screaming for a moment, but only for a moment.
This game shakes things up a lot. It's a lot more story-based like FNAF 3, but in a good way. Each night is completely different while dropping small bits of story as the game goes on.
Why did I catch you watching game theory videos while on the job?
But most importantly, it isn't boring. On top of that, this is where I fell off the FNAF train forever ago. So from this point on, we're going in blind. First night, like always, pretty simple. We type in our name,
Welcome. Eggs back
get
in
to
her
play with a
snout.
taser, and we go home to watch an episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. Night 2 is where the game actually starts. First things first, we make a new friend.
Thank you for choosing Angsty Teen.
So, funny story. A dead body was found in this vent once. Okay, so not that funny, but
Dude, I love this guy.
it's a story.
But then he dies in a blackout.
There seems to have been a problem with the voice synthesizer.
No!
Default settings have been restored.
Now we gotta hide in a cubby hole so we don't die to a couple of 1 foot tall potatoes.
No. Stop! Stop!
Afterwards, we crawl through Belora's room, give Freddy a Twinkie, And now we can finally get back to our favorite show. Oh no! Ridge thinks RJ isn't his son and Brooke cheated on him? This is crazy! Unfortunately, we have to pay rent. So it's on to night 3. This one really messes us up. We gotta get past Funtime Foxy, but things don't go great. We try brute force and get our asses handed to us. So we look for some advice. That's when we find him, the legend himself, the walking FNAF wiki, Ambiance! For real though, this guy's tutorials are a lifesaver. He practically carries us through this game and UCN. Thanks to him, we figure out how to deal with Foxy, which is a pretty simple pattern of walk about 7 steps, then flash. If Foxy's there, flash over and over again until they aren't. Eventually we get to parts and service. Ooh, but Freddy isn't feeling too good. Let's help him out. Pretty easy. Pop open his face, rip open his stomach, and take away the only thing keeping him alive.
Great work.
There, all better. Oops, wait a sec. We forgot about Bon Bon. Same idea, but he moves around a lot, so it's a bit trickier to... It's all good. Mistakes happen. We'll just start again from Freddy and... Wait a sec. Oh, god damn it! Okay, for some reason checkpoints don't exist in this game, so you die to Bon Bon, and that means you're dealing with Foxy again. Finally managed to catch that darn rabbit.
Great job.
And that should be it for night 3.
Please exit the building through Funtime Auditorium.
Fuck. Alright, no big deal. We know the strat, just gotta be a little careful. Motherfucker! Wait, what happened? Are we in some kind of suit?
You never left the building last night.
Wait, we were here overnight?
I kidnapped you.
Oh, you son of a bitch! My 655-day soap opera streak is ruined! We're supposed to keep the spring locks wound here, and apparently it's supposed to be really hard, but we're so angry from missing our show, we get it on the first try. Yeah. We finally get to go home, and we got some binging to do. Turns out, RJ grew some fucking wings and can fly now, and then some bitch hit the kid with a broom, putting him in a 3-month coma. Ridge doesn't care, though. He got a job at a Del Taco. Brooke is fucking pissed about this, though, and lights his house on fire? God, this show is so good. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. The game. Night 5 is actually pretty easy for the final night. We check out some piñatas and move through Foxy's one more time to get to parts and service. This time, it's Baby's turn to be ripped apart. But first, we need to type a code on a eeny-weeny little keypad.
9, 6, 6.
On the bright side, Foxy isn't actually active on Night 5, so you can just sprint through Funtime Auditorium. Several attempts later, and we finally get the keycard, as well as Stage 3 arthritis. Then we just gotta listen to Baby guide us to the scooping room.
Go forward.
But oh no! It was all a trap set up by Pennywise the Clown! Gotcha, bitch! And then we get bing-chlinged. Very sad. But nothing is going to keep me from finishing my show. I'll do whatever it takes. So I forced Mike to eat a child. And this allows us to enter the private room, where it's time for the final battle. Will versus Innard. This part is actually pretty hard, and really frustrating too, because most of the time it isn't even Innard that kills you. It's the damn power. Can't have the doors closed for even a second too long or you're screwed. Thankfully, you can be pretty conservative with the cameras because of the audio cues. That is until 4 AM until Innard becomes faster than Sonic and your ears start to bleed. Oh yeah, and don't forget about all the psychological torment from Baby never shutting the fuck up.
I thought you liked me, so that we can hide. If they find us like this.
And the last nail in the coffin? This night is 9 minutes long. So when you die last second of power, it stings hella bad.
No.
And then you had to do the Baby code portion all over again.
7.
So this ends up being a battle of resilience more than it is skill. But just like the rest, Innard eventually falls.
Oh! Let's go!
And that means we can finish our show, boys! We open in a hospital. RJ was admitted after eating a tub of Tide Pods. Ridge and Brooke argue in the other room. Ridge still angry his house was set ablaze. Wait, how did she not get arrested? They go back and forth for a while, but then it's revealed, oh my god, Ridge bought a kid's meal. He really does care. And scene. Wait, what are you doing here? But with that, sister location is over, and we can move on. Psych! We got custom night, baby! But it's not really custom night as much as it is a whole ass separate game! And all these smaller challenges are just practice for good old Golden Freddy mode, just without Golden Freddy. So we're just going to skip to that. The goal here is like the other FNAF games. You're stuck in an office, don't die. But in order to do that, we need to know how these animatronics work. Like FNAF 2, there are 10 of these bastards. Unlike FNAF 2, they all do different things. Blur will cycle between the two hallways. Just close the door she's at when her music gets louder. Headphones help out a lot here. Freddy will move between the closets. He sends Bon Bon after us after saying one of two voice lines. If it's the first one, close the side he's on. Otherwise, close the opposite side. Yendo can spawn whenever we flip the monitor. Just flip the monitor again to make him leave. Foxy's Foxy. Bonnie can spawn after a monitor flip. What she does is slap that nose harder than a pig's. Bitty Bab chills in the vent and doesn't shut up.
I'm going to find a way inside. I'm going to find a way inside.
Just listen for a vent banging noise and close it. Electro Bab and the Minarinas both spawn on the cameras and drain your resources. Just tase them. Lilbit can spawn on the monitors on your desk, jamming up your doors and camera. Type LOL on your keyboard to get rid of them, or the keypad if you're a loser mobile player. And lastly, Minarina 2s. Yeah, you can't get rid of them. Now, can you guys guess how many tries this took? 167. What's that? You think that's a lot? Oh boy. Just wait.
Let's go! Finally!
Pizza Sim is pretty short, but it's a good time. All we gotta do is throw pizza at kids until Freddy's shadow shows up. And then we help him overcome the parts of himself that he keeps hidden from the world. Unfortunately, the ending is pretty ambiguous as the game just crashes. Wait, what? Okay, for real though, the FNAF gameplay in this game is pretty bad. It can be a little scary, but after you get the hang of it, it gets really boring. All we gotta do is click a task, turn off the fan, then pick a vent and stare for about 5 minutes. We hear any creepy noises? Stare for another 5 minutes. Eventually, you can look at the computer and click another task, then repeat until you can log off. Salvage segments are the same story. Creepy at first, but eventually you figure out how to space your shots, and it just becomes a chore. Luckily, the game makes up for everything. With the blueprint phase! Look at this shit! We can buy animatronics! We can play basketball! We can buy this ugly ass thing! Fucking floor plans! We can go room! We can play in the ball pit! Fucking punch clown! We can watch kids die! We can shoot pizza! We can shoot Balloon Boy! Now it's time to get down to business. This game technically has 6 endings, but most of them are jokes. So we're only focusing on the true ending. All we gotta do is finish the game while completing all the salvage sections. Can't throw anything out. When we salvage an animatronic, it adds them to the task section of the game. This doesn't make it harder, just a lot longer. So if we mess up and die, it hurts really bad. But it's all worth it in the end, as we get the best possible ending to this series.
Connection terminated. This is where your story ends. For most of you, I believe there is peace, and perhaps more, waiting for you after the smoke clears. For one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole. So don't keep the devil waiting, old friend. This ends, for all of us, in communication.
Huh? What do you mean there's more? What? Why would there be more?
Please deposit 5 coins. Please deposit 5 coins.
The time has come. UCN is easily the hardest FNAF game, but that also makes it the best. Sad as it is, we can't just jump in and destroy 50-20 mode. We had to work our way up. Thankfully, there's a bunch of presets to get used to the 15,000 mechanics introduced in this game. There are 3 things we need to know going in. On Cam 7, we can buy the Def Coin with 10 Faz Coins. We get Faz Coins by clicking through the cameras and hovering over them. The Def Coin is important for getting rid of some pretty annoying animatronics later on. Then there's camera and office stalling, which are similar to FNAF 1. Cam stalling is the same idea as keeping Freddy in the corner. As long as the camera's on him, he can't move. Office stalling is like how if Bonnie and Chica get in, they won't attack until you flip the monitor again. There's a good handful of exceptions, but these mechanics are essential if you want to get any further than the first challenge. And with the basics covered, let's speedrun the challenges. Bears attack. Turn on the power generator, get the Death Coin, kill Toy Freddy's Fortnite streak, go to Cam 3 to stall Lefty, flick down the mask for Golden Freddy, click Helpy, pay the loan shark.
Thank you.
Flash Phantom Freddy and the Freddles, check the doors for the nightmares. Now we office stall. Now we sit here until the room starts to fade to black. When it does, turn on the heater for a couple seconds, switch back to power gen and fan, close the left door in the top vent, flip the monitor and reset ventilation, close the monitor and flick the mask, then open the door in the vent. Repeat. Pay attention. Power gen, Death Coin Puppet, check right vent for BB and JJ, flash Nightmare BB if he's standing, click help, spam C for Old Man Consequences, spam enter on the YouTube ads, listen for Afton in the right vent. He attacks once per night at 29-second intervals, and turn off anything making noise for a while if you hear Music Man. Ladies Night, power gen and fan, audio lure in the air duct, Death Coin Funtime Foxy, cam stall on Cam 2. Switch to the global music box just before every 15-second interval to appease Best Girl, then go back to the generator. Taser Baby, listen out for Ballora, mask for Toy Chica, office stall to win. Creepy Crawlies, power gen, audio lure, Death Coin Puppet, mask for Toilet Bonnie, keep it down for Music Man, listen for Afton, office stall to win. Nightmares attack. Be careful where you put your mouse here. Bottom left and right of the screen are safe spaces from Super Big at Nightmarian. No power gen, just fan. Cam stall Cam 2. Mask for Golden Freddy and Bonnie, check doors for the Fredbears, flash BB and Freddles, listen for DJ Double M, tase the babies, and keep the temperature below 80 for Lefty and Nightlight Chica.
Man, it's getting hot.
Office stall to win. Spring Trap. Cam stall Lefty, flash the watermelon, keep Joe from the kids, hide in the safe spaces, office stall, GG easy. Old Friends. Arguably the hardest preset.
Oh.
Kill the hoe.
I'm dead.
Stall Cam 2. Learn bitch-ass GMB cycles. 14 seconds of power gen. 16 seconds of music box. This is your life now. Hang up on Scott. 0 frames are cool again. Foxy isn't.
Leave me alone. Akira.
Office stall to win. Chaos 1 through 3. Do everything, but better. Okay, last step before 50-20. We want everyone except Best Girl, Pyro, Ninja, the Muppet, and the worst one. While this one is hard, we don't have to worry about GMB cycles, 0 frames, or RNG. So this is arguably easier than Old Friends. Basic steps are the same as always. Power gen and fan, audio lure, stall Cam 2. Then it's actually just office stalling, but with a lot more distractions. We still need to deal with the unstallable threats, like Ballora, Afton, and the reincarnation of Hitler. But we know how they work now, so they aren't the biggest deal in the world. Except Hitler. Hitler bad. Although there is one new guy we haven't talked about yet, Rockstar Bonnie. He has a small chance of spawning in the office every 13 seconds, if the monitor is loaded. What we're supposed to do is search the cameras for his guitar. But if we leave Cam 2, all 5 of the thugs being held there will jump us like we're in an alleyway in New York City at 3 in the afternoon. So in reality, he's just kind of a death sentence. And unless you're in the last 10 seconds, you should just restart. Thankfully, he's pretty rare, so he isn't a huge pain in the ass. Yet, overall, definitely a challenge, but not that bad for UCN. 97 deaths. The time has finally come. The ultimate challenge. Everyone is here. Pre-game setup. You want all the power-ups. DD Repel and Frigid aren't important in the long run, but extra power and coins are essential, and it just feels cooler going in with everything. Next, use the FNAF 4 office. It's easiest to see and has the best healthy spawn. The microsecond we load in, we turn on the generator and turn off the fan. Thanks to Frigid, we can actually skip the fan during the first GMB cycle. And we're normally still under 90 degrees by the time we reach the next one. So Frigid, it kind of gives us an extra 1 to 2% power. Hop on cams, audio lure, then jump over to cam 8 to help out our boy. Next, we gotta speed run the Def Coin. If we're lucky, we can actually grab a couple while blocking off Mr. Hugs. As soon as you get the 10, jump to cam 7, grab the coin, and delete this bitch. then Cam 2. I know this seems like any other opening, but keep in mind we gotta watch out for all these guys the whole time. And the big kicker, we gotta finish all of this in just 15 seconds. Otherwise, we run the risk of country girl Chica shoving her maracas down our throats. Or worse. And don't forget that music box. If you're even 2 seconds off, there's also the 0 frames. Although I don't find them that hard, Marco tends to disagree.
Live in Smethwick, Birmingham. If you want the fucking brawl, come down to Smethwick Hospitality. I'll come out of my house and I'll break your fucking leg.
But after we develop some muscle memory, it just turns into a really hard game of office stalling. We lose a lot of attempts to the GMB in good old Nightmarian, but it eventually happens. We grind it out and we finally reached a last vent reset. Oh yeah, this son of a bitch. So if you leave Toy Freddy alone for long enough, he dies to a fucking vacuum cleaner. And like any other Twitter user, he wants to blame everyone and everything but himself. This is Toy Freddy though. Any other animatronic in this hellhole will beat his ass, which means he's coming straight for us. Now how do we deal with him? Well, we can't death point him. We use that on Foxy. We can't leave Cam 2 to check on him either. So what do? We fucking pray, boys! That's right! Goddamn RNG! To be fair, he only ends a run about 10% of the time, but it really does feel like he only shows up when you have a good one going. Unfortunately, there's only one thing to do. Dig down and grind it out.
No!
Please deposit 5 coins.
It's finally over. He did it, and it only took 1,352 tries. Wow. Only not really. That's right. I lied! This was only 4920! No fun time Foxy, bitch! Fuck me! Now 5020. Maybe we need a break. Help Wanted is both horrifying and stupid. And I love every bit of it. Mostly. We start out with a remake of FNAF 1. And god damn, the office is so tiny. Mechanics-wise, it's just like the first game. Except the cams are even more useless. The cameras don't stop the fox anymore. We're supposed to use them to see when he's left. But with a decent reaction time, we can just listen for his sprinting sound. Bruno doesn't have that reaction time. Gotta be quicker than that. That does make Night 5 a bit of a problem, because the cameras are needed for Freddy. Like Foxy, they don't stop him anymore, but they do slow him down a good bit, so having to flip back and forth is actually a little tough. Not too tough though, only takes a couple tries. Yeah, that's what I thought! Unfortunately, they nerfed the hell out of FNAF 2. Without the camera giving him a chance to kill you, it's stupid easy. Although the puppet looks creepy as hell here. Like, holy shit. FNAF 3 is still boring. The phantoms look stupid in VR too. Luckily, they did make one thing better in VR. The nights are shorter. Next up is the Dark Rooms, consisting of some nice remakes of the Plush Trap and BB minigames from FNAF 4, as well as the Funtime Foxy section in Sister Location. We also get to see Steel Wool's first completely original level, and let me just say, why the hell did we think it was a good idea to leave him in charge of FNAF? This shit is awful! Who the fuck decided to let these things teleport every 5 goddamn seconds? Plus, the flashlight charge is way too slow for how fast these things can kill you. Not to mention, they teleport away while you're staring at them! Moving on, we take out Bonnie's eyes, pull some bugs out of Chica, remove a child's remains out of Freddy,
Burger King foot,
and have a staring contest with Foxy. Good stuff. Next are the vent repair games. Pretty fun. And while they are technically original, they feel more like extensions of the parts and service levels than their own thing. So I'll give Steel Wool 1.5 points for these. Then there's Night Terrors, which are remixed versions of FNAF 4. The first one is Funtime Freddy, which can be difficult to get the hang of. Spawn It will spawn inside the room every now and then, while Bon Bon spawns in the hallways. We're supposed to flash him, but the jump scare isn't lethal, so it's easier to just ignore him. Freddy can spawn in both hallways, and will come up to the doors if he's left alone for too long. Like FNAF 4, if you hear breathing, close the door, otherwise flash and switch doors. Or, you can also just run between the doors super fast, and then he doesn't have a chance to get close. The rest of the Night Terror levels are the same formula, just for different characters. Except for Circus Baby, where you hide in the closet and close the door if she sees you. But don't hold it closed for too long or else the plushie will get you. Short and sweet. Finally, we have Pizza Party. Pizza time. A funhouse-esque maze with locations from all the games. It can be pretty confusing at first, but once we know what we're doing, it's pretty simple. Thank you, ambiance. Just click on the doors to change rooms, take too long in one spot or in the maze overall. Sequence of events is simple. Find the room with mango in it and choose a cake flavor by going through the corresponding door. Find the kitchen, choose a pizza flavor, then find the FNAF 3 office. Enter the vent, look up, boom, we're at the party. Wave hi to the bunny man.
I'm going to kill you!
Follow him backstage, get brutally murdered and stuffed into Freddy, and bam, GG easy. You go back and grab all the coins and tapes, because why not? Click the super duper ultra hidden button on the side of the monitor, and wind up in jail. Good times. Overall, Help Wanted was a good experience. Looked great in VR, especially some of the blacklight levels. Original stuff was kinda disappointing though. Do better, Steelable. Huh? There's DLC? Ew, most of it is original minigames? Did we really have to do that? Great. Alright, small rant here. This was not fucking worth the $10. Most of these games are either boring, bullshit, or some combo of the two. They brought back the fucking Plush Baby game! What were they thinking? Out of the 8 new levels, only 3 are any good. And one is another FNAF 1 remake. The other 2 are this one, where you need to keep track of the boys running around the house, and then put on the mask matching whoever's at the door. The other one is a rail shooter. Unfortunately, the real reason we're here isn't any of these 3. It's this bitch-ass corn maze. We're going for the secret ending here, which is apparently the hardest thing you can do in this game. And that's true, for all the wrong reasons. We need to walk around and find 4 keys that spawn at random, then find a 5th random spawning key, and return to the middle. Sounds easy, but no. The whole time you have to deal with Blighted Foxy. Problems with this are plenty. First off, there's no actual way to sneak around him. He spawns in and starts beelining towards you. Once he has line of sight, he charges. Only way to avoid death here is to hop into a cutout. Foxy then disappears and respawns after about 5 seconds. This wouldn't be an issue if there weren't huge dead zones in certain areas of the maze. And once you hit the 4th key, he starts sprinting around faster than Trump running from the cops that one time. On top of that, we're so slow. So it takes like 20 minutes just to get unlucky and have Foxy spawn on you while you're trying to walk 2 feet away to the next cutout. But after like 5 years, we finally get lucky enough to pull it off. And our reward is a mask.
I am going to commit suicide!
Okay, we tried.
To the main exit through the utility tunnels. It is the safest path.
Okay, but you better be careful moving around.
What the fuck?
I swear to God.
Help me!
At least it was funny bad. The time has finally come, the ultimate challenge, but for real this time. Same pregame as 4920. FNAF 4 office, all power-ups, but also turn off visual effects. Less lag, and it nerfs OnlyFans Chica. As soon as we're loaded in, spam click the floor sign to move it to the right. 1, space, and S all at the same time. Audio lure, then cam 8. Around this time, you want to press F to close the right vent. 90% of the time, BB or JJ are there. If we let them in, it's basically game over. Block off the vacuum, and jump over to cam 7. Don't forget about your GMB cycles. 14 seconds of power in van, 16 seconds of music box. Now it's time for the death coin. We can't get coins on the cameras though. Mama Freddy will beat our ass. Instead, we need coin farming. Every time we block an animatronic with a door or click Helpy, we get 1 coin. The idea here is to spam the camera to spawn Helpy, BB, and JJ as much as possible. If we're lucky, Nightmare and his boyfriend will show up too. It's a simple idea, but there's a lot to look out for. Raise and close the monitor, mask for Golden Freddy, click Helpy. close the right vent for a sec and listen for the bonk sound, then open. If we don't hear anything after about half a second, open it anyways. If anyone showed up at the doors, close those as well. But we want to stagger it if there's more than one. If we block more than one animatronic at the same time, the game will only give us 1 coin for all of those. Repeat all of this until we have 10 coins.
Oh yeah.
Then, what the fuck is that? Okay, this is Zor, aka Shadow Dee Dee. Dee Dee can show up in normal games and will add an extra animatronic that you didn't include on the main menu. Shadow Dee Dee shows up on 50/20 and is a matter of when, not if. Dee Dee Repel is useless. Shadow Dee Dee has a 50% chance to spawn every 10 seconds starting at 11. When she does, she'll spawn in the 6 secret animatronics: Plush Trap, Nightmare Chica, Lolbit, Minarinas, Bonnet, and Shadow Bonnie. So it's technically 57/20. Now when we get 10 coins, we gotta wait for Zor to spawn. This is the first of many ways our runs will end. Technically we can still win if she spawns later than we want, but for us, if she doesn't spawn at 11 or 21 seconds, it's a restart. So now if we have 10 coins and she spawns, we have a chance at a run. If she spawns at 11, wait till just after 13 seconds, close the left door in the front vent, then enter the cameras. If she spawns at 21, wait till 26. We gotta avoid those 13-second intervals. Rockstar Bonnie equals game over. Grab the death coin and pray that Toy Freddy hasn't died yet. Jump over to Cam 6, draw the last piece of Exodia, and obliterate Funtime Foxy. Then wait a few seconds until Plush Trap leaves.
Got a blast.
This is the part where we're most vulnerable, so I hope you went to church this morning. As soon as they leave, go to Cam 2 and reset the vents. Now that we're out of the cameras, most of the time we're getting our ass eaten. Literally. This is Nightmare Chica. Just throw in the AC until the jaws are gone, then back to your cycles. Shadow Bonnie is probably here too. Don't worry, he's just saying hi. Handle any immediate threats, zero frame Foxy if he's on the table, and we're finally through the hard part. Now it's basically 49/20 again, but with way less power. We do need to keep an eye out for Lolbit and Bonnet, but they're the same as always. And the main arenas just hop on your face for a while. Annoying as hell, but you get used to it. Foxy also is a bit more RNG here than in 49/20, since we can't really do anything about him until after the opening. But with that, all that's left to do is grind it out.
For depositing.
Bruh.
Oh!
It's actually over. We did it. Dustin can accomplish his dream and see the FNAF movie.
O cholera, czy to Freddy Fazbear? Oh, 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 oh.
Watch this, subscribe, don't die.